Recently, I have been asked the same question over and over by several different people in several different situations, and that is, what is the most important 3 things to you? And I saw someone, just coincidentally I guess, use a term called wellness pillars to describe this exact thing, and I thought it would be interesting to kind of just go into those wellness pillars and describe how I guess abide by those and the differences, and see if other people have different ones. And it would shock me in a way if people did, because these to me are like the main 3 things in life, and it's just such an interesting concept. And so I just want to see if this could change other people's opinions or change their wellness pillars. And yeah, it's just an interesting topic for me. So my first wellness pillar, I guess, is very easy, and probably, you know, people are going to be able to tell that this is what I would choose, but it's love. And by love, I don't just mean a romantic relationship. I mean being surrounded by good people, being supported, having a good support group, having a good foundation of humans in your life, whether it be friends, family, co-workers, acquaintances, mutuals, like literally whatever it is, just having that around you in different forms, shapes, sizes, in any and every way you can possibly get it. Because I think that is how life begins, is connection, and it's how we form other things. Like the other things that I'm going to talk about are technically formed from this one thing. So I obviously believe that the love you give out is the love that you get to a degree, and I think it's the same as, you know, the good that you give out is the good that you get. And I think that stems from the pillar of love, which is a cheesy saying, but it's true. And this can also just mean like having your own family, or it can mean loving yourself. I think that's a very important one as well, which, you know, everyone fucking talks about, so it's nothing new or groundbreaking, but still it's something that's worth talking about. I think if you also don't have that self-love, like the other things that I'm going to talk about, the other wellness pillars, don't come as easy or aren't maybe part of people's lives because they don't have this aspect of life. And it's easier said than done to have amazing friends, an amazing partner, an amazing family, amazing pets, amazing, you know, anything, amazing kids, amazing co-workers, literally anything. It's easier said than done, but I still think it's possible. So that's my number 1. Number 2 is similar but not the same. Passion. Passion, when I talk about that, I don't mean in like a love sense. I mean in the sense of what you love to do rather than the people that you love. So whether it's making what you love to do a full-time job, or maintaining it as a hobby that is consistent in your life, I think that's key to happiness and a successful life, is remaining within your circle of passion. And for me, for example, that looks like reading or sketching when I'm in the mood, or fashion, or doing my work because it's very creative. On top of that, I guess it's also music and movies and other creative things that fill my day-to-day, even pictures, images, visuals, because I'm such a visually aesthetically pleasing lover that it's such a big thing for me. So that's why my room's covered in posters and pictures, etc. So I just think that's why I do what I do, and that's why my job is what I love, because ever since I was young I've always believed that if I'm not doing what I love, I'm going to be miserable. And again, it's easier said than done, and I feel very lucky and grateful and privileged to be doing what I'm doing full time. but I did work very hard for it, and I worked for it from a very young age. I'm talking like 11. It's a story and a half, but anyways. And I think that passion and drive is what gets you to be a successful human, depending on your view of success. For me, success is, yes, about being financially stable, but it is also about doing what I love. And luckily, doing what I love has led to that financial freedom. And that's better than anything else I could ask for. And I think that most people will get that if they work super hard and believe in themselves when it comes to their passions and hobbies, and if they want to take it up as a career. My final one is authenticity, and by this I mean, I think like it's a really weird one for me, because whenever I say that, the first thing I think about is like when I create content, is the content I'm making legitimate? Because I hate people who just create content to be a content creator, just to get their bag, to be a liar, they don't use the products, etc. So that's why I think it first comes to my mind, because it's my career. But I do purposely partner with people and companies that I truly believe in, which is why a good percentage of the ones that I've partnered with have been about sex or PCOS and endo and female care, because that's something that I've got a very strong knit tie to. And that's why it's passionate for me. Again, it's like these all interlink and like weave into one. But I also believe that if I was making shit that I didn't believe in, it wouldn't be as successful, or successful in the way that I see success. And I just think it creates a better reaction as well from other people. Like, people can tell when you're being legit and when you're not. And I just think, especially me, like I'm so plain-faced, like I'm so straight-faced. If all my emotions show, I can't hide shit. So that's why to me it's like such a big thing. But obviously in general it's about honesty and being true to yourself. Like, if you like speaking up for yourself and standing your ground and fighting for what you believe in. You know, for example, I'm a queer disabled woman, and I don't even need to say anything for you to understand what I'm trying to say. So it's important. There are things that are very important to me that if I think I didn't fight for them or prioritize them in a way, that my life would feel very unfulfilled, and I feel like I wouldn't be doing service to my purpose in life, which I feel is like widespread in a sense of, I don't feel like I'm a spokesperson, but I do feel like I can have a say and help, and I want to help, and that comes with that authenticity. I can't go around being an advocate without my stories and myself as a human. So I think, again, it's that very much so, like, being true to yourself links into that self-love, links into that passion. It all interlinks, and I think because they all interlink, at first I was kind of doubting whether they really are like three separate pillars, but they are in a sense. They have different purposes as pillars, I believe, at least. So yeah, that's my three main pillars in life, and I guess I'm curious to see what other people's are and if they agree with my pillars or have their own, which isn't a problem. I can imagine for a lot of people it's going to be different, and that's fine. But I think also, like, pinning down those three pillars is important, because you figure out who you're aligned with and what you're aligned with. And I can't have people in my life anymore that don't align with the same shit. Like, my boyfriend is someone who prioritizes his connections and relationships over money, for example, but he is such a hard worker because he loves what he does, and he's good at what he does, and he's successful because he loves it and because he's good at it. So yeah, and like my best friend's the same, and it's just, I think you really find your people and your place in this world if you are able to identify your 3 wellness pillars. So I use them every day in my life, you know. Wake up, have a coffee. Why? Because I love it. Because it encourages me. Because it fuels me, makes me feel good. It's part of who I am as a human. I read before I go to bed. Why? Because I love it. Because I'm a writer at heart. I'm a storyteller at heart. That's where all my love for film, for script writing, for my fucking degree in uni came from. Is as a kid reading books. So I think like every action in my day-to-day is genuinely deriving from those 3 pillars. So yeah, it's just an interesting topic that I wanted to talk about. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next week.